In the heart of Blackpool, a small industrial town nestled in northern England, Emily Williams navigated life with quiet determination. At 28, her days were a delicate dance between survival and hope. The early morning light would find her in Baker's Corner, a small bakery where she worked tirelessly, kneading dough and serving customers with a gentle smile that masked her inner struggles. Emily's world had been turned upside down 2 years ago when her mother passed away, leaving her alone with a mountain of medical bills and no safety net. Her mother's battle with illness had depleted their savings, and now Emily carried the weight of their shared memories and unpaid debts. By day, she worked at the bakery, her hands moving swiftly between trays of fresh bread and steaming pastries. The smell of warm bread and sweet cakes filled the small shop, a stark contrast to the challenges that awaited her outside. Her colleagues respected her, a young woman who never complained, who always showed up on time, and who worked twice, as hard as anyone else. As the sun set, Emily would change into her cleaning uniform and head to the local hospital. Her second job began late in the evening, when the corridors were quiet and the only sounds were the distant beeping of medical equipment and her own careful footsteps. She cleaned each room with precision, her mind often drifting to her biggest dream: becoming a nurse. Her tiny apartment told the story of her life. A small table tucked in the corner was covered with nursing school brochures, dog-eared and highlighted. Every spare moment was dedicated to studying. Old textbooks borrowed from the local library were her most treasured possessions. She would sit by the window, the streetlight casting a soft glow on her worn notebooks, studying medical terminologies and healthcare principles. Money was always tight. Emily's budget was a carefully crafted masterpiece of survival. She knew exactly how much she could spend on food, how to stretch a pound, and how to save every penny. Her meals were simple, often just a sandwich she'd make from leftover bread from the bakery, or a simple soup she'd prepare in her small kitchen. Her neighbors knew her as the kind woman who would always help. Old Mrs. Thompson next door could always count on Emily to help with groceries or to check on her occasional needs. Despite her own struggles, Emily believed in the power of kindness. She understood that community was about supporting each other, no matter how little one had. The dream of becoming a nurse was more than just a career choice for Emily. It was a tribute to her mother, who had spent her final days battling illness with remarkable courage. She wanted to be the kind of nurse who saw patients as people, not just medical cases. She wanted to provide the compassionate care her mother had received during her final days. Her nights were long. After cleaning the hospital, she would return to her small apartment, make a cup of tea, and study. The soft glow of her small lamp would illuminate her determined face, her eyes scanning medical textbooks with an intensity that spoke of her unwavering commitment. Life had not been kind to Emily, but she refused to be defeated. Every challenging day was another step towards her dream. She knew that opportunities don't just happen, they are created through hard work, persistence, and an unbreakable spirit. Her friend Tom, a local postal worker, was her only real support. He would occasionally drop by with an extra sandwich or words of encouragement. "You're going to make it, Emily," he would say, his kindness a beacon of hope in her challenging world. As winter approached, bringing with it the harsh winds of the northern coast, Emily continued her routine. The cold mornings at the bakery, the long nights cleaning the hospital, the endless studying, all of it was a testament to her resilience. She didn't know it yet, but her life was about to change. An opportunity was waiting just around the corner, ready to transform her dreams from a distant hope to a tangible reality. Emily Williams, with her quiet strength and unwavering determination, was ready to face whatever came next. The community college announcement arrived like a whisper of possibility, a scholarship for mature healthcare students, a chance that seemed almost too good to be true for someone like Emily Williams. The local notice board, typically covered in faded advertisements and community events, now held a beacon of hope that caught her eye during her morning walk to the bakery. Tom, her postal worker friend, spotted her staring at the notice. "Have you seen this?" he asked, pointing to the scholarship details. Emily's fingers traced the words carefully, her heart racing with a mixture of excitement and doubt. The application required more than just academic promise. It demanded a story, a reason, a demonstration of true commitment. The scholarship wasn't just about money. It was a pathway to her nursing dream, a chance to transform her life from endless cleaning shifts to meaningful healthcare work. But the competition would be fierce. Young students with recent qualifications, people with more resources, more time, more opportunities. Emily spent her first evening carefully reading the application requirements. Her tiny apartment became a workshop of hope. Borrowed pens, a Yao, second-hand laptop from a charity shop, and her most treasured medical book surrounded her. The streetlight outside her window became her only companion during late-night preparation. Her work schedule made preparation challenging. Bakery shifts started at 5 in the morning. Hospital cleaning continued late into the night. But Emily was determined. She would wake up an hour earlier, study during her lunch breaks, and spend every spare moment crafting her application. The personal essay became her greatest challenge. How could she explain her journey? The loss of her mother, the financial struggles, her unwavering dream of becoming a nurse. Words didn't come easily to Emily. She wasn't used to talking about herself, let alone writing about her deepest hopes. Tom became her unexpected support. During his postal rounds, he would stop by and offer encouragement. "You've got more determination than anyone I know," he would say, bringing her extra sandwiches and helping her review her application. Late one Wednesday night, with her hospital cleaning shift approaching, Emily finally completed her application. Her hands trembled as she sealed the envelope. It felt like she was sending a piece of her heart into the unknown. The local post office became her first stop after her morning bakery shift. Weeks passed. Emily continued her routine, pushing the scholarship to the back of her mind. She couldn't afford to hope too much. Hope was a luxury she had learned to manage carefully over the years. The letter arrived on a cold Tuesday morning. Emily almost missed it among the bills and advertisements. Her hands shook as she opened the envelope, her bakery colleagues watching with curiosity. The words "shortlisted for interview" jumped out from the page. She read the letter 3 times. Shortlisted, an interview, a real chance. The interview invitation changed everything. It meant taking time off work, preparing for a formal meeting with college professors. Emily knew this was more than just an application. It was an opportunity to prove her worth, to show that her dreams were more than just wishful thinking. Tom helped her prepare. They practiced interview questions in her small apartment. He brought a second-hand blazer from a charity shop, helping her look professional. "You're going to do great," he would repeat, his belief in her stronger than her own doubts. Emily's preparation was meticulous. She studied healthcare terminology, reviewed her personal story, and practiced speaking about her motivations. Every moment not spent working was dedicated to preparing for this life-changing interview. The night before the interview, she barely slept. Her mind raced with possibilities. What if she could actually become a nurse? What if this was her chance to honor her mother's memory? What if she could transform her life of survival into a life of purpose? As dawn broke, Emily prepared herself. Her simple outfit, carefully selected, represented more than just clothing. It represented hope, determination, and the possibility of a different future. She didn't know it yet, but this interview would change everything. Her quiet strength, her years of hardship, her unwavering determination, all of it was about to be tested in one crucial moment. The interview room felt like a different world to Emily Williams. 3 professors sat before her, their eyes scanning her carefully. The college's examination hall was cold, sterile, with rows of empty chairs creating a silent audience to her most important moment. Emily wore the second-hand blazer Tom had helped her find. Her hands were clasped tightly in her lap, hiding their slight trembling. She had practiced for weeks, but nothing could fully prepare her for this moment. The professors looked intimidating. 2 men and 1 woman, all dressed in formal academic attire, their expressions unreadable. "Miss Williams," the lead professor began, his voice sharp and controlled. "Why should we consider you for this scholarship?" Emily took a deep breath. She thought about her mother's hospital room, the kind nurses who had shown compassion during her final days, the endless nights of studying and working. Her story wasn't just about herself, it was about something bigger. "I understand what it means to care," she said quietly, "not just as a job, but as a calling." The professors exchanged glances. Emily explained her journey, working 2 jobs, studying during every spare moment, her dream of becoming a nurse sparked by her mother's final days. She spoke about the elderly patients she'd seen while cleaning the hospital, the moments of human connection that went beyond medical treatment. Her voice was soft but steady. She didn't try to impress them with complicated words or elaborate stories. Instead, she offered raw honesty. She talked about financial struggles, about her commitment to helping others, about her belief that healthcare was more than just a profession, it was a way of showing human compassion. The female professor leaned forward. "You've been working in a hospital for years. What makes you think you can become a nurse?" Emily smiled slightly. "Because I've seen healthcare from the ground up. I know what patients really need, not just medical treatment, but human kindness." The interview continued. They asked about her academic background, her ability to manage studies with work, her understanding of healthcare challenges. Each question was like a small battle, but Emily remained calm. Her preparation, her life, experiences, gave her a strength that surprised even herself. During a moment of tension, Emily shared a story about an elderly patient she had helped while cleaning the hospital. An old man who was lonely, who just needed someone to listen. She described how she had spent extra time talking to him, how sometimes healthcare was about more than medical procedures. The professors listened intently. Her authenticity was impossible to ignore. She wasn't presenting a perfect academic candidate, but a real person with genuine passion. As the interview progressed, something changed in the room. The cold, formal atmosphere began to soften. The professor's stern expressions gave way to something more human, a recognition of her determination, her unique perspective. Tom waited outside, nervous but hopeful. He knew Emily had something special, a combination of hard work, compassion, and unwavering commitment that set her apart. Hours felt like days. Emily walked out of the interview feeling both exhausted and strangely peaceful. She had been completely honest. Whether she succeeded or failed, she had presented her true self. The walk home was quiet. The town seemed different. The streets, the bakery, the hospital where she worked, everything felt like it was holding its breath, waiting. Her tiny apartment felt different that evening. The nursing school brochures seemed to glow with possibility. Emily made a simple cup of tea, her hands still slightly shaking from the interview's intensity. She thought about her mother, about the dreams they had shared, about the long nights of struggle, about the possibility of something changing. As night fell over Blackpool, Emily knew something had shifted. The interview was more than just a moment. It was a turning point. Whether she got the scholarship or not, she had proven something to herself. She had shown that her dreams were real, that her struggles had meaning, that her quiet strength was her most powerful weapon. The night was quiet, but inside Emily's small apartment, hope burned bright. The envelope arrived on a crisp autumn morning. Emily's hands trembled as she opened the letter, her bakery colleagues watching with anticipation. The words, "Scholarship Awarded," jumped from the page, transforming her world in an instant. Her first day at the community college felt like entering a different universe. Younger students glanced at her with curious looks. A woman in her late 20s wearing secondhand clothes, carrying well-worn textbooks. But Emily wasn't intimidated. Her years of hard work had prepared her for this moment. The college was a maze of new experiences. Lecture halls were different from the hospital corridors she knew so well. Her classmates were mostly younger, fresh from school, with different life experiences. Initially, they kept their distance. Emily was different. Older, quieter, more focused. Her first class in medical terminology challenged everything she knew. Complex words that once seemed impossible now began to make sense. Emily's approach was different from other students. While they saw studying as a requirement, she saw it as a privilege. Every lecture was a gift, every lesson a step closer to her dream. Tom continued to be her biggest supporter. He would drop by with study materials, bringing home-cooked meals when she was too exhausted to cook. "You're doing it," he would say, his proud smile warming her heart. Her postal worker friend had become her family, her support system. Balancing work and studies became an art form. Emily still worked at the bakery in the early mornings and cleaned at the hospital in the evenings. Her classmates couldn't understand how she managed. Some days she would arrive at college with flour on her hands from the bakery, change quickly and dive into her medical studies. Her classmates slowly began to respect her. They saw her dedication, her ability to balance multiple jobs while excelling in her studies. What once seemed like a barrier became her strength. Her life experiences made her a different kind of student, practical, compassionate, determined. The nursing program was challenging. Anatomy, medical procedures, patient care. Each subject was a new world to explore. Emily approached each challenge with the same determination she had used to survive her previous years. Her age and life experiences became her greatest advantage. Her first practical training in the hospital was a transformative moment. Walking through the corridors not as a cleaner, but as a nursing student felt surreal. The same hospital where she had cleaned floors was now her learning ground. Patients who once knew her as the cleaning lady now saw her as a future nurse. Some nights, exhaustion would nearly overwhelm her. Balancing work, studies, and her dreams seemed impossible. But Emily would remember her mother, the struggles they had faced, the dream they had shared. She would take a deep breath and continue. Her grades were exceptional. Professors began to notice her unique approach. She wasn't just studying to pass exams. She was learning to care, to understand, to help people. Her essays were different, filled with real-life experiences and genuine compassion. The college became more than an institution. It became a pathway to her dreams. Each lecture, each practical session, each challenging moment was bringing her closer to becoming the nurse she had always wanted to be. Her classmates, who had initially kept their distance, now sought her advice. They saw her as a mentor, someone who understood the true meaning of healthcare. Her life experiences had given her a wisdom beyond textbook knowledge. Tom watched her transformation with pride. The quiet woman who had once cleaned hospitals was becoming a professional healthcare worker. Her dream was no longer just a distant hope. It was becoming reality. Emily's journey wasn't just about becoming a nurse. It was about proving that dreams don't have an age limit. That determination could overcome any obstacle. That compassion was the most important qualification in healthcare. As winter approached, Emily looked different. Her eyes held a new confidence. Her walk was more purposeful. The shy woman who had once cleaned hospital floors was transforming into a confident nursing student. Her tiny apartment still remained simple, but now it was filled with medical textbooks, nursing journals, and a growing sense of hope. The walls that had once only held her dreams now displayed her achievements. Something fundamental had changed. Emily Williams was no longer just surviving. She was truly living her dream. 2 years passed like a transformative dream. Emily Williams stood in her crisp white nursing uniform, looking nothing like the exhausted woman who had once cleaned hospital floors. Her graduation day was more than just a ceremony. It was a triumph of human spirit. The hospital where she had once worked as a cleaner now employed her as a qualified nurse. Those same corridors that had witnessed her struggles now celebrated her success. Patients who remembered her from her cleaning days now saw her as their primary caregiver, a testament to her incredible journey. Her first official shift brought tears to her eyes. Walking through the hospital, no longer with a mop and bucket, but with medical charts and a professional purpose, felt like a miracle. The same rooms where she had quietly cleaned now became her professional domain. Tom attended her graduation, his eyes filled with pride. The postal worker who had supported her through every challenging moment now watched her achieve something extraordinary. He brought her a small gift, a stethoscope with her name engraved, a symbol of her incredible transformation. Emily's approach to nursing was different. She understood healthcare wasn't just about medical procedures, but about human connection. Her years of struggle had taught her compassion that couldn't be learned from textbooks. Patients felt her genuine care, her understanding that went beyond simple medical treatment. She remembered her mother during every challenging moment. Each patient became a connection to her personal journey, each medical procedure a tribute to the care her mother had received during her final days. Her nursing wasn't just a job, it was a calling. The hospital staff quickly recognized her unique qualities. Emily wasn't just another new nurse. She brought a depth of understanding that came from years of struggle and observation. Her colleagues respected her, seeing how her life experiences made her an exceptional healthcare professional. Her tiny apartment transformed. Medical books replaced old nursing brochures. Certificates and professional documents now decorated walls that once only held dreams. She had become everything she had hoped for, and more. Financial stability finally arrived. The constant struggle of working 2 jobs was replaced by a professional career. But Emily never forgot her roots. She continued to help her elderly neighbors, to support those facing similar struggles she had experienced. Some of her patients became more than just medical cases. She saw their stories, their struggles, their hopes. Her own journey had taught her that every person had a unique story worth understanding. Her compassion became her greatest medical tool. The community that had once seemed indifferent now celebrated her success. The local bakery where she had worked displayed her nursing graduation photo. The postal office where Tom worked shared her story with pride. She had become a symbol of hope for everyone who believed in hard work and determination. Her friendship with Tom remained strong. He continued to be her support, her family. They would often share meals, talk about her experiences, celebrate her achievements. He had been her first supporter, her constant encouragement during her most challenging times. Emily's life was no longer about survival. It was about purpose, about making a difference. Each day brought new challenges, new opportunities to help people. Her nursing wasn't just a profession, it was a mission. She thought about her younger self, the woman working 2 jobs, studying late into the night, holding on to a dream that seemed impossible. That woman would be proud of who she had become. The hospital corridors echoed with her compassionate care. Patients found comfort in her gentle touch, her understanding smile. She had transformed her personal pain into professional healing. Her mother's memory lived through her work. Every patient she helped, every life she touched was a tribute to the woman who had taught her resilience, compassion, and hope. As evening fell, Emily looked out of the hospital window. The same town that had once seemed like a place of endless struggle now represented her triumph. She had transformed her life not through luck but through unwavering determination. Her journey proved one fundamental truth. Dreams don't have an expiration date. With hard work, compassion, and belief, anything is possible.